Ooh. Yeah. So we got back late last night and a full pack load of meat. I've got some other meat to get off the hill up here. I've probably got about an hour and a half to go to get to it, butcher it, load it up, hike back out, and then we've got to drive back home and process it, etc., which will probably take most of the day. It's fun, it's rewarding, and like I've always said, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's one of the best things I've learned to do, is to go hunting and to harvest my own meat. I can't wait for that frying pan. So this deer, this lovely meat here, took me probably about 50 hours to get, and it's so rewarding when it happens. And I'm going to strip this deer and going to backpack it out about an hour and a half out down the mountain, drive home, and then start processing it. This just keeps me fit. I encourage anybody that's thinking about going hunting, especially for deer, harvesting their own meat here in New Zealand, give it a shot. Give it a shot, keeps you fit, and it's a great source of protein. And if you don't hunt them, the government's just going to poison them. So there you go. There's my little bit for the day. Love you and leave you. Okay, for some people this may look gruesome, but that's all that's left of the carcass. I've stripped all the rest of the bones of meat. I can't carry any bones out, it's too far this time. I usually carry them out for trigger. But there's all the meat lying in the grass there. And I'm going to pack it away before the flies get on it. So I'm just letting it cool off. That's the back steaks. Got the neck, so I've got the bone in the neck, so that's an extra bit of weight, and then all shoulder straps and all the meat off the back end, and obviously the 2 big long back steaks. But yeah, there you go. It's taken me about an hour. Back's killing me. I've got about an hour and a half walk out, and I've got the help of my walking stick and a couple of painkillers. But yeah, nothing's wasted. Get into it. If you don't hunt, give it a go. We've just returned, and I've been busy cutting up the venison, dividing it equally between both of us. Well, maybe not. Maybe I've got a little bit more than Trigger. But you sort of get that, you know, when you're the boss. When you're the boss, you've always got to have a little bit extra. Venison for breakfast. Bring it on. And while I got the camera out, I'm not the only one panting. Trigger's getting older as well. Her little tongue's hanging out like a slice of ham. But yesterday we heard some deer roaring. This is the time of the year. We heard them down near the house, but they were in the farm. So maybe we get lucky and we get to hear some or see some roaring. I don't care if we can get a deer, if it's got antlers or not, as long as we can eat it. Oh, it'd be great to hear them, but sort of go, oh no, that's a cow. Something like that. They got the same eyes. Something like that. Anyway, love you, leave you. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm meant to be. Hey, chicks. We're nearly there. So we finally got up here, and it's absolutely stunning. The last time we were up here, or the second last time, we camped at an angle in between these rocks, and there was a huge storm. It was nearly, I think, 100km/h winds. It was absolute nightmare. Chigga shit herself, and she normally sleeps under the fly, but I put her in the tent. The fly was all squashing my face like that, even though we had the shelter between the 2 rocks. And it was, I think I slept for about 5 or 10 minutes that night. It was pretty horrific. But it's funny, they're the sort of memories that still don't put me off. So we're back, and it looks perfect. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Well, I've lived here for over 25 years now. I've been coming up in these mountain ranges for years, and I come up here a lot, but I've never been up as high. And the reason I'm whispering is it's absolutely so still, so calm. I've never in New Zealand been on top of mountains when it's been so still. We haven't so much as seen a deer, or even a deer poo, let alone one roaring. And I'm pretty sure if there's any deer around here, even if there's one 5 kilometers away, I'd probably hear it fart. But this is probably why we go hunting, for experiences like this. Look at the views. Wow, stunning. No stinky dog farts and no snoring. I'll keep you warm with my spare sock and bits and pieces. There you go. Sorry we didn't get any deer. We didn't so much as see a deer, find any poo, any hoof prints. So I don't know if the helicopters have been in here and shot them all. Sort of seems like that. We may have heard one roaring way in the distance. It was that far away. If you think I was going to walk over there, you got another thing coming. I'd rather become a vegetarian than walk a few kilometres up and down those mountains to find out it wasn't a deer. But anyway, who knows? But it's been pretty amazing so far, and it's fantastic to be lying here because I'm in agony. Good night. God bless. I'm not too sure about this hunting. It's not as easy as you think. So we've escaped work early. Well, it's 5 o'clock or so, and we're driving to the native beech forest because the weather's been pretty crap. There's snow in the mountains. It's meant to rain again. It's been raining most of the day. We got pretty wet doing the landscaping today, and we're hoping we actually get to hear some wild deer roaring. We can hear them in the farms nearby, but we're hoping, fingers crossed, to hear some wild ones. And maybe even get one to come in to my roaring. I've been practicing and I've been driving. Oh, my eyes don't work. I think I need a drink of water. The things you do. You gotta have a laugh nowadays. There's too many serious people. Thanks for watching. See ya. Oh. We went round the edge of a clearing earlier. It looked really good. But we only saw a couple of bits of poo, and I don't know how fresh it is because it's been raining all day. And everything, with my experience, everything looks fresh. But there wasn't many hoof prints. And we're now in the middle of the wood. We're just standing quietly, waiting for a roar. Or maybe if Trigger can sniff anything, if there's a bit of a breeze, that'll help. As long as it's not a mouse. But she doesn't really know that. But it's beautiful just being here. Glad we just pegged it from work early and got here. Even if nothing happens. It's magic. Absolute magic. Well, we just came out of the woods and we're in a bit of a clearing, so it's a little bit lighter. I've got to go back in the woods. It's about an hour back. Trigger's all excited because she'll run in front down this, we're going to follow a track, and she just loves it. I love watching a little bum bounce around in front of me under the torchlight. Oh, I'm too busy telling you about that, the hunting. Well, this is another attempt at the roar, and we didn't hear anything. I wasn't too sure if I'm meant to roar and they roar back, but I think you do wait in them. So It's one of them things. It's better than being at home doing the dishes at this time normally. Over and out. We're just going into the darkness. And I better get my head torch on. Are you good? Are you good? What's that? What's that? You're good, 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 good. Are we gonna go? Okay, you can go, Ned. Go on. There's a moor park near a vale, basically. A little bum. So we've managed to get a few days off. Today is beautiful weather. I've been out since it was dark, sneaking around. We thought we had one deer, but it could have been another hunter. We did meet another hunter in the car park. Lovely old guy, big massive beard, and he was so helpful trying to help us. Realises that we got all the gear and no idea. But it may have been him we heard roaring. He went up the valley more. But we've been sneaking around. We found some new areas that look promising. And we did hear a deer crash through the undergrowth, which is not what we wanted, but it's just one of them things. The next 3 days are meant to be a little stormy weather and pouring rain. Hence why we've managed to get off work, because we can't do the landscaping in the crap weather. Well, we could, but we'd rather be hunting in crap weather. Anyway, there's a nice shot of Trigger's bum. So every now and again, Trigger's little nose twitches. But like I say, I never know if it's a mouse. We did hear some roaring, but it could have been other hunters in the distance, because we haven't heard it again for about the last hour. But just up ahead, there's a tree. I'm just coming to it just now. There's a tree there, it looks like. We're on this ridge line, and it looks like a deer's been rubbing its antlers. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Doesn't look, well, looks fresh, but it's not super fresh. Oh, I think I can see one. Holy shit. Wow. So I was just showing you that tree. And then I just saw some legs in the distance underneath the trees. And we sat down. And I got the gun. I got ready. And I saw it in between the trees coming towards us. Really close. Wasn't roaring or anything, but it was a stag. And the wind swirled, and I lost sight of it in amongst those thick trees there in front. I was just waiting with the rifle up on my shoulder, and the wind must have swirled, and I just heard it disappear. Oh, so that must have been a deer we did hear roar earlier. Wow. Trigger's wondering what's happening. Hey, pal. Hey, Jake, come. So, I've just found this. I'm pretty sure this is a wallow. It's the first one I've ever found. And I think the stags roll in it and get all muddy. I'm not too sure why. I better read up on that. Maybe the females do as well, but I think it's the stags. And it looks like there's fresh tracks there. It's maybe that deer we've seen before that must have smelt us, you know. It was amazing, it was so close. Trigger didn't see it, didn't smell it. The wind just changed direction. I just got a whiff of us. I'm not too sure if that's it for the night or that deer will calm down and maybe roar, let us know where it is. But this looks like where it's been, playing at pigs. So I tried earlier, we had a deer roaring, definitely it was a deer. And I tried my very well rehearsed in the car roaring stag roar, and I tried twice and the deer didn't roar again. It didn't come charging into us either, and it's vanished. So I basically scared the shit out of it. So I've been sitting here, it's just getting dark, listening, hoping for a miracle. Trigger's gone to sleep pretty much between my legs. So that probably says it all. Day one, over and out. So we camped tonight where we heard that deer. Well, quite a distance away from it. And the wind's changed, so we're coming in to the forest at a different angle, so we had to walk an hour. Trigger was loving it, running around there in front as we walked. So now we're on the edge of the wood, and we're just waiting on it getting light enough to go in. We were hoping we would hear some roaring and stuff last night, but not a sausage. There's probably a high chance I spooked that deer with the old stew. But you've got to try. But at least we know where its wallow is. We know where that tree was getting rubbed, so we know the area it was in. But maybe it's disappeared. I don't know if it will stay in that area. But you know, you've got to absorb all these things you learn. Well, try and absorb them. And you just never know. So it's day 2, it's in the evening. We've been on the go all morning, well, all day since dark this morning. We've been up and down, round and round. Haven't so much as seen a deer. I've seen the odd bit of poo. Triggs may have sniffed one, but that was about it. So we're high up above this wallow we found yesterday. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the optimist in me is hoping that a deer decides it wants to go down there and splash around in the mud before dark. If that doesn't happen, we're going to be skunked again. Trigger fell asleep in the gun earlier, so that wasn't a good look. But the wind's blowing, and she can smell something. Again, could be a mouse. Well, it's day 3. It's the middle of the afternoon. It's pissing down. And apparently the forecast says it's about to get heavier, so that storm's just arrived. We've been on the go all day. We haven't heard a deer, seen a deer. And in my mind as I'm walking, I'm going, oh, what did I do wrong with that first deer we saw, or we heard roaring? You know, it's a bit like fishing. What did I do wrong to catch that big fish, you know? But maybe I didn't do anything wrong. We've got a few hours left. As per normal, we haven't seen a deer, sniffed a deer. Nothing today. But we are trying. So there's a lot of blank days doing this. A lot more than what people think. But it's great fun and it's awesome being out here. I'd rather be out here in the rain, than working in the rain as such. Hey, chicks, what do you think, chicks? Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. So it's late afternoon on day 3. We haven't seen a deer, heard a deer, or found any fresh deer poo. But we have been trying. Hey, chicks. There's no wind, so it's hard for me to rely on Trig's famous nose. But she does smell something. And as I've been sneaking around, pausing and stopping every now and again, listening, hoping, my brain's been going, what should I have done when that deer was roaring? I just thought if I was too thick at undergrowth, I'd scare it if I tried to get near it. That's why I tried to roar it, just like they do in the movies, and it comes running out. But that didn't happen, obviously. So I've never seen it, heard it since. And, just like fishing, what could I have done better? A couple of hours left, or maybe an hour left, before darkness. You never know. Hey, chicks, what do you think?
Yes, of course. We will get a deer.
So it's been raining all night. It's meant to rain all day today. That storm's arrived. We're underneath a veranda of a backcountry hut. So we ditched the tent. We've managed to get the truck nearby. So we're going to go and try sneak out there, get to the edge of a wood. And as it gets light, hopefully we're going to sneak in the wood and locate a red stag. This drop in temperature might bring them on to roar, but who knows. Later on today we might try fly fishing for trout when the rivers start to rise. The fish may start to feed more aggressively, and we might have more chance at fly fishing for trout than we have getting a red stag, but it's all great fun. I've got these ready this morning. I'm going to stick these on. Good hunting footwear, good Kiwi hunting footwear. Yeah, red bands, wellies, gumboots. So we're up on a high knob inside the forest. I keep thinking my jacket's leaking, this new jacket, but I think I'm just sweating that much. Trigger like me is hoping something's going to happen. There's not much wind, but she's just suddenly become focused on something down there. You can see a little nose going. I think she can smell something. What can you smell, Jugs? Hey. Yeah. We're up on top of a knob. This is quite high in the forest. And if I was a stag, this is where I'd like to be. Right up high. But I'm not a stag. I'm a human. And I still like to be up high. first deep poo we've seen. What do you think, Triggs? Triggs isn't too fast. Well, we may be wet. We may not be seeing any deer. But there's one thing for sure. It's better than sitting in an office or sitting in a kennel. I just come across this skeleton here, these old bones, and every time I find something dead, whether it's just the bones or the actual animal, lucky I've not found a human dead yet, I always wonder what actually happened. I'm sure I'm not the only person. How did it die? Was it an accident? Or was it murder? I actually do think this is a deer and it's being shot. I'm pretty sure it's a deer, and the reason I think it's being shot is because its skull's missing. Unlike myself, I can't eat the skull, so I'll leave the skull. But some people will take it because, you know, it's a good trophy to have. Trigger's not even interested in the bones. Over and out. So we finished the hunting this morning. We've still got this evening to go. We had no luck. So the plan was to go fly fishing and fish the famous Oriti River, because, you know, fly fishing, I can catch fish. I might not be able to get deer, but I can catch fish, especially with the fly. But the river is just too high and dirty. Not so much high, I suppose, it's just too dirty to fish, and it's just going to get dirty and dirtier and dirtier within the next 20 minutes, as well as higher. So looks like we're back to camp. Trigger's going to be really happy about this because she's nice and dry. She's refusing to come out the truck. Anyway, let's see if we can find a deer this evening. I've just fired a shot. I just missed a deer. Pretty close. It's got up a steep bank. Here's my excuse. Up a steep bank. I'm panting and puffing. I've got the backpack on. I've got the straps here. The deer appears right in front of us. And it stops. I quickly put the rifle up. I know it's going to go. I've got split seconds. I know it's a deer. I've identified my target. I get the crosshairs on it, but I'm wobbling all over the place. And I haven't pushed the rifle tight against the pack straps. And I missed. And I always seem to miss when I've got the pack on. And I'm standing. And I've been, you know, walking. As soon as I've got the pack off, I've got something stable, I don't miss. And I'm afraid, hey Jig. Triggs is a bit pissed off with me. She ran around like crazy looking for it. I was really hoping she was going to find it. I thought I'd got it. But I missed it. And this is the last evening. Oh, 4 hard days. And a beep.